If you've tried to get in shape every summer, but for some reason, year after year, it never really works out, you never seem to really actually hit your goal, and then you find another year going by, another summer, and you think to yourself, well, maybe next year. But then each year just kind of comes and goes. If this sort of cyclical pattern sounds familiar to you, then this video is for you. What is going on, guys, and welcome to another video. As of recording this, it's the end of March, springtime is upon us, and summer is right around the corner. This is the common time of year where a lot of people might be rushing to the gym, jumping on the treadmill, trying to get in shape for summer. So instead of letting another year go by where you do the same thing, I'm going to give you sort of a 4-step system to help you actually get in shape, lose body fat, and help you actually transform your body for this summer. No more spinning your wheels, no more killing yourself in the gym, trying to race the calendar. These 4 steps will help you transform your body. So getting into step number 1 is setting your deficit. The most important aspect when it comes to losing weight, losing body fat, is eating in a calorie deficit, burning more calories than we're consuming. But what commonly happens is people will take this idea and go to the extreme with it. They slash their calories in half, jump onto some 1,200 or 1,000 calorie diet, and they might do that for a week, maybe 2 weeks, but then they hit a wall. Realize they can't sustain this, they feel miserable, and then they wonder if it's even worth it. So it's important to know that, yes, you need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, but it has to be a realistic and manageable deficit. So instead of cutting your calories too low, what you want to be in is a 500 calorie deficit. This is sort of the sweet spot where your body will burn fat without all those negative side effects. It's not going to tank your metabolism, you won't burn through muscle mass, and you'll actually still have enough energy to perform in the gym and in everyday life. That doesn't mean you'll feel perfect. You will still be hungry. That's a normal side effect of losing weight, but it will be much more manageable and maintainable. So what you want to do is once you find your maintenance calories, which if you don't know what those are, click the link in the description for a free calorie calculator. This will give you an estimate on where your maintenance calories are at. Then once you have that, you'll subtract that 500, and then that will be your calorie goal. And then once you have your deficit, once you know how many calories you need to aim for, this takes us into tip number 2, which is structure your diet. Another common mistake that people run into is they make drastic or unnecessary diet changes. For example, they think that if they want to lose weight, they got to cut out all their favorite foods. They have to cut out carbs or go keto. They heard intermittent fasting is the way. And it's no, you got to eat 3 times a day. You got to eat 6 times a day. But going back to tip number 1, being in a calorie deficit is the primary driver of weight loss. These are all various strategies to get to the same end goal, which again is being in a calorie deficit. As long as overall you're in that deficit and you're hitting your numbers, it does not matter if you eat carbs, if you intermittent fast, if you eat 6 times a day, when or how you eat does not matter as long as your numbers are in check. So that being said, it's important not to jump on some crazy trend. Don't cut out all your favorite foods. What you want to do is try to stick to that golden 80-20 rule. Basically, in a given week, around 80% of your total calories are coming from healthy, whole, nutrient-dense foods. You're hitting your protein, you're getting plenty of fiber, and then the remainder 20% or so of foods can be whatever you want. You don't have to feel restricted. You can have actual structure to your diet to make it more manageable and much easier. As long as you hit your numbers, the rest doesn't matter. Tip number 3 is fixing your workouts. Another common thing people do when they want to lose weight, especially if they only have maybe 2 or 3 months, they crank up the high intensity cardio, they try to burn calories, they think that more is better, and this idea is part of what really ruins their results. Doing a ton of cardio or working out 6 or 7 days a week, people will find that it either leads to a burnout, their body can't even recover enough to keep up with that demand, or they'll just end up tanking their metabolism and spinning their wheels. We want to fix this extreme approach to exercise. And the first way you're going to do that is by ditching all of the high intensity cardio. It doesn't actually burn a lot of calories. What it can do is actually increase our cortisol levels. It can increase our cravings while not even burning a lot of calories. So the fix for this is to switch to strength training 3 to 4 times per week. Lifting weights and building muscle is one of the best things you can do for your metabolism, for your body composition, but it doesn't have to be super intense 6-7 days a week. 3 to 4 days per week is all you need. Following a simple full body or an upper lower split and making sure that you're applying progressive overload. The next thing you're going to do for your workouts is you're going to do zone 2 cardio after each lifting session. Zone 2 cardio is very light intensity. You can typically still have a conversation while you're doing it, being slightly out of breath. This low intensity form of cardio is great for improving the metabolism, and it doesn't spike cortisol or cravings like higher intensity cardio does. So it's much more manageable and can better assist with fat loss. So again, you want to do this after your lifting session for anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. And this could really be a steady pace in any cardio method. It could be a steady pace on the treadmill or the elliptical, maybe the bike, a light jog, whatever your preference. And of course, you can still do HIIT cardio if you enjoy it. Just don't waste your time on it for fat loss. And then moving on to tip number 4 is having a mindset shift. So although this is a quick plan to get in shape for summer, 2-3 months, and having that end goal is good because it keeps you accountable on a daily basis. Day by day, you're getting closer to that goal, which makes each day valuable. But this doesn't mean that this is a temporary fix or a temporary solution. What this system is really for is to get you going for long-term change. Another big reason of why people don't see their fitness goals through is because they don't have the mindset. Whether they don't believe in themselves or they just don't see themselves as that fit person, get stuck back in their old ways, or if someone has one little slip up, they think that they failed and then they just give up. We have to start adopting that sort of long-term mindset. See yourself as that fit person, as the person who prioritizes health, prioritizes fitness, prioritizes daily movement, getting in fruits and vegetables. And you know that this journey is actually serving a higher purpose. Not only can this transform your body, but it can transform your mind, improve confidence. Know that a slip up doesn't mean failure. We all make mistakes, we just get right back on track. So this isn't an easy transformation, but it is a possible one. So use a summer deadline or any deadline as daily motivation to keep you on track, but also know that this is a long-term game. See yourself as that fit person. You'll build the habits and the routines that that fit person would have. And then you stick to it, and over time, you will become that person. So that was a 4-step system to lose weight and get in shape just in time for summer, or for any other 2 to 3 month deadline that you might have. Make sure you know your calorie deficit, hit your numbers, structure your diet, don't starve yourself, don't cut out all your favorite foods, stick to that 80-20 rule, and again, hitting your numbers, and you'll be set. And 3, fix your workouts. Don't waste your time on a bunch of high intensity cardio in the gym 6-7 days a week. Lift 3 to 4 days per week and do 15 to 30 minutes of low intensity zone 2 cardio after. On top of, and I didn't mention this, but getting plenty of steps as well. Aim for at least 6,000 up to 10,000. And then tip number 4 was that mindset shift. Don't see this as just another temporary phase. See it as the beginning to a long-term change. And see yourself as that fit and healthy person that you know you can be. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more of my fitness content. And if you want help with reaching your fat loss goals, even for summer, if you want a customized, personalized plan for you with check-ins and accountability, click the link in the description to check out my one-on-one coaching program. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video.